the hidden mistake that keeps you stuck in the rat race, and how to break free. What I'm about to reveal to you is the silent reason why millions of people spend their entire lives working hard, collecting diplomas, clocking in every day, following all the rules, and yet never get to live the financial freedom they've always dreamed of. There's an invisible mistake that works like a modern prison. You run, you hustle, you feel like you're moving forward, but when you look closer, you realize you've just been spinning on a wheel, trapped in the same cycle, like a hamster running endlessly without direction. This is what's known as the rat race, and the most dangerous part is that most people don't even realize they're in it until it's far too late. Now stop and think. Every day you wake up early, spend hours commuting, pour your energy into a job that takes up most of your life. But why? To pay bills that never stop coming, to settle debts that seem to multiply, to maintain a lifestyle that feels more like a cage than a dream. The big trap is believing that working harder and earning a higher salary automatically gets you closer to freedom. The truth is, the more money comes in, the faster it goes out. You upgrade your car, raise your standard of living, take on new payments, and without even noticing, you stay stuck in the same place. That's not progress. That's the illusion of progress. Robert Kiyosaki, in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, warns that this cycle is one of society's greatest silent tragedies. He shows that the real prison isn't the job itself. It's the way we've been conditioned to think about money. From an early age, we're taught to chase security through stable jobs, to see a fixed paycheck as our only source of income, and to spend almost everything we earn to sustain a lifestyle that proves to others that we're doing well, when in reality, we're sinking deeper into dependence. This mental mistake is so powerful that it makes us believe we're doing the right thing, when in fact we're building a life of eternal financial captivity. And here lies the real danger. As long as you can't see the mistake, you can't escape it. With every passing year, every promotion, every shiny new achievement, the maze of the rat race becomes more complex and harder to leave. The cost of delay is brutal, because it's not just about lost money. It's about lost time, energy, and dreams that will never materialize if you keep running without direction. And time, unlike money, can never be recovered. Have you ever wondered why so many smart, talented, hardworking people never seem to break free from this cycle? The answer lies in that invisible mistake, one that traps your mindset long before it traps your wallet. It's a mistake so common that you've probably fallen into it yourself, believing you were moving forward when, in truth, you were just tightening your own chains. And that's exactly why this video is essential. What you're about to discover can completely change how you view your work, your financial choices, and most importantly, your relationship with freedom. The difference between living trapped in a job for life and building a solid path toward independence isn't luck, inheritance, or talent. It's clarity. The clarity to see where the mistake lies, and the courage to do something different from now on. But pay attention. As you watch this, remember that every minute you spend without applying these ideas is another turn of the wheel, another step that keeps you trapped in the rat race. What's at stake here isn't just knowledge. It's the real opportunity to choose between repeating the pattern that keeps millions stuck, or taking control and breaking free today. In this video, you won't hear empty motivational cliches or promises of overnight wealth. What you'll find here is the raw truth no one wants to tell you, but that can set you free if you're brave enough to face it. And that truth begins with identifying the mistake that keeps so many people paralyzed. Get ready, because from this moment on, your view of money, work, and freedom will never be the same. When we talk about the rat race, we're not just using a metaphor for daily stress. We're describing a deep diagnosis of how modern society programs people's minds. That's why Rich Dad, Poor Dad became a milestone. The book didn't just sell millions of copies. It redefined how an entire generation came to see money, work, and wealth. Kiyosaki exposes a powerful contrast between two mindsets. The first, represented by the poor dad, is the one most of us inherited. Study hard, get a good job, work diligently, receive a paycheck, and use that paycheck to pay bills, fund dreams, and maintain a respectable lifestyle. It's a mindset that values security, the safe path, but one that keeps you dependent on a single source of income forever. The second mindset, represented by the rich dad, is radically different. Instead of living for the paycheck, He teaches you to build assets, generate new streams of income, and think like an owner, not just an employee. This difference may sound simple, but it's the dividing line between those who spend their entire lives drowning in debt and stress, and those who gradually build freedom and time. And make no mistake, it's not about academic intelligence. If formal education were the key, university professors would be among the richest people on the planet, and we both know that's not the case. The difference lies entirely in mindset. Now pause and reflect. How many times have you believed that your next raise would finally fix your problems? That your next job or promotion would set your finances straight? And what happens when that extra money arrives? The debts remain, the bills multiply, and your dreams stay on hold. Each achievement only speeds up the race, but never takes you out of it. That's what Kiyosaki calls the invisible prison. A prison without bars, but full of bills. No guards, just the constant fear of losing your job. No concrete walls, only the illusion of progress keeping millions trapped. And the longer you stay inside, the harder it is to realize there's life outside. What makes Kiyosaki's message so powerful is that he's not just a theorist. He lived this contrast. On one side, the advice of his poor dad, the traditional path of stability. On the other, the lessons of his rich dad. That real freedom comes from learning to manage money strategically, to create assets instead of consuming liabilities. This duality gave him not only authority, but a rare clarity about the financial game most people don't even know they're playing. And here's the urgency. If you don't understand this difference, and if you can't see that you're trapped in the mindset of the poor dad, you'll spend decades running nonstop, always feeling that something's missing. And when you finally realize it, it might be too late. This isn't about earning more, it's about thinking differently about what you already earn. Kiyosaki didn't write a theoretical manual. He wrote a wake-up call, a message to those who work endlessly, believing that safety comes from ever larger salaries. And that's the very warning we'll dig into here. Because unless you truly understand what it means to be caught in the rat race, you'll never see the core mistake that keeps millions imprisoned. But prepare yourself, because understanding the concept is just the first step. Once you see how this race actually works, you'll realize the problem isn't how hard you work. It's the invisible structure that keeps everyone running in circles, thinking they're advancing when they're not moving at all. Breaking the cycle. The rat race isn't just an expression. It's a system designed to keep you running, motivated, productive, even ambitious, but always trapped. And the reason it works so perfectly is because it doesn't use force. It uses illusion. The illusion that you're free because you can choose what to buy. The illusion that you're successful because you work hard. The illusion that you're moving forward because your paycheck keeps growing. But when you strip away the noise, you realize you've just been working harder to sustain a life you don't control. A lifestyle that consumes you more than you enjoy it. That's why most people don't escape the race. Not because they're lazy or uneducated, but because they mistake movement for progress. They confuse activity with achievement. And that's exactly what the system wants. Every time you take on a new debt, a new bill, a new upgrade, you think you're advancing. But in reality, you're digging yourself deeper. Every time you say, "I deserve this," without first asking, "Can this make me freer?" you strengthen the walls of your own financial cage. And every time you trade time, your most precious and finite resource, for money that disappears by the end of the month, you're reinforcing the invisible bars that keep you trapped. Now let me ask you something powerful. When was the last time you worked for yourself? Not for your boss, not for your bills, not for appearances, but for your freedom. If your answer is never, then it's time to change everything. Because escaping the rat race doesn't start with quitting your job or selling everything you own. It starts with a shift in perspective. It starts when you finally understand that the goal isn't to make more money, it's to make money work for you. This is what Kiyosaki calls the mindset of the rich dad. A way of thinking where your focus is no longer on income alone, but on assets, things that generate money even while you sleep. The poor mindset works for money. The rich mindset makes money work for them. And the dividing line between one and the other isn't luck, it's awareness. The turning point. The moment you realize this, everything changes. You stop chasing raises and start chasing returns. You stop thinking, how much can I spend? And start thinking, how much can I invest? You stop trading hours for survival and start using your time to build leverage. Because freedom doesn't happen when you make a lot. It happens when you no longer depend on making a lot. That's why so many people who earn six figures still feel broke. Because their expenses, their lifestyle, and their mindset are all still part of the same race. And the race doesn't care how fast you run. It only cares that you never stop running. So what does it actually mean to break free? It means replacing consumption with creation. It means understanding that every dollar you spend could either make you poorer or richer, depending on where it goes. It means realizing that your job isn't your security. Your knowledge is. The more you learn how money truly works, how to invest, how to build value, how to multiply rather than just earn, the more untouchable you become. The system only controls those who depend on it. The moment you stop depending, you stop being controlled. That's the ultimate power Kiyosaki teaches. Financial freedom begins in the mind, long before it appears in your bank account. Reprogramming the mind. But there's a warning here. Knowing this isn't enough. Most people understand what needs to be done, but very few actually act on it. Why? Because changing your financial reality requires reprogramming your mental habits. It's not enough to read books or watch videos. You have to shift your daily decisions, your relationship with money, and the story you tell yourself about what you deserve. You have to stop saying, "I can't afford that," and start asking, "How can I afford that?" You have to stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. You have to stop living for weekends and start building a life that doesn't need escaping from. It's a process of mental rewiring, and it's uncomfortable. But it's the only path that leads to freedom. Because every person who ever escaped the rat race started in the same place you are right now, realizing that comfort is the enemy of growth. If you stay where it's comfortable, you'll stay where you are. If you choose what's difficult now, life will get easier later. This is the paradox the system doesn't want you to see. Because the moment you do, the game changes forever. The new game. Imagine this. You start investing even small amounts regularly. You build assets that generate passive income. You learn skills that make you valuable beyond any job title. You stop chasing trends and start creating your own path. At first, it feels slow, but one day you look back and you realize something has shifted. You're no longer afraid of losing your job. You're no longer working just to pay bills. You're no longer dependent on a single source of income. That's when you know. You're out of the race. You're not running anymore. You're building. And when that happens, you finally understand what Kiyosaki meant when he said, "The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them." It's not a slogan. It's a mindset that separates those who live reacting to life from those who design it consciously. The final reflection. Now, let me leave you with a thought. Every day you delay this shift is another day you spend fueling someone else's dream instead of building your own. The system won't change for you. You have to change within it. Because true freedom doesn't come from escaping responsibility. It comes from taking control. And the moment you decide to learn, to build, to invest in yourself, you stop being a pawn in the race and become the designer of your own game. So tonight, when you lay your head on your pillow, ask yourself honestly, am I running toward freedom or just running in circles? Your answer will define the next chapter of your life. And if you choose freedom, then your journey out of the rat race starts right now.